worry about the final score or anything, but obviously it seemed like a lot of positives out there with a lot of guys tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you get so much. We were approaching it like a practice a little bit, but it's not. You walk around town, everybody wants you to beat Idaho, and we have a lot of respect for this team. This is a team that has a lot of guys back, and they're a bunch of good shooters, and if you don't stop them, they're going to make them. And so, we had a good approach for a game October 17th, but you could tell, I just wanted to see everybody and get some data from game-like experience, which was probably invaluable. I mean, you got a freshman point guard who played a lot against a veteran team, and I thought he did a great job for a first time out. In a kind of a high pressure environment a little bit. Like I said, for an October 17th game. So some great stuff, really, and that stuff that'll really help us in the long run as we move forward, trying to figure out our rotation, trying to figure out who can do what in a game and our strengths and things to work on. And Idaho's already played a scrimmage. I thought they looked good for like October 17th. They're running their stuff good. They know their roles. That looks like a good basketball team, and we had to do some really good things to get that lead up, and we did. I mean, we had some, we didn't play 40 great minutes, and our press breaker's not up to par right now, and our point guard didn't play. That has played in a lot of high level games. That gives you that experience and that how to handle all that stuff. So you had a lot of young guys and that's stuff we can all fix, and we will. And I didn't expect to play 40 great minutes tonight, or 4 perfect minutes in this early in the year, but I thought there was a lot of valuable things, and I think our guys enjoyed themselves. I think the crowd had a good time, and I think it's going to help both teams a lot, because both teams did some really, really good things. And then, the extra period, they get to play all 15 guys that, you got a lot of guys that come out every day and practice and work hard, and they may never, some guys don't get a lot of chances throughout the year. So for us to be able to do an extra 8 minutes, all that stuff is really valuable for your program. So there's a lot of good takeaways from tonight, a lot of things that we can build on, and days like this make you better.
Shooting 50% from three-point range, I know it's one game and an exhibition game at that, but does that give you a little encouragement after, that was kind of a trouble spot?
Yeah, well, it was my gut feeling that we're going to be a pretty decent shooting team, and doesn't mean one exhibition game means that for sure, but those all looked good coming off their hands, I thought, and we just have a lot of guys that can shoot, and so, but there's a million things that we can, because we didn't really, our execution wasn't much there, but again, like I said, I was juggling 11 different guys and lineups and all that kind of stuff.
For Drew to get 24 on 11 shots,
yeah.
And I know at times they had a little bit of a smaller lineup, but it wasn't like he was just posting up and
No.
He was hitting threes and the pump fake, and it just seemed like his kind of full game was on display.
Some guys just have a ball that goes in, and I've seen that with Drew. And, we're making him better at some things that our program makes guys better at, but a lot of the things he brings that are things you can't teach. I mean, when you got a 5-man that can shoot it like that and pass it and, all those things, he's just going to get better and better, because he's just getting comfortable in our system and what we can do. And he was really efficient. 24 points, 8 rebounds in 23 minutes. And I mean, that's in a Division I game, that's pretty darn good.
Drew's only a transfer, and you've got returning guys with leadership, obviously, but you lose Tyson, you lose Alfred last year. Do you see Drew really stepping into that role and being like one of the guys, like, this is my team?
Well, there's a lot of guys that are going to do that. Like I said, we've got a pretty darn good point guard that didn't play tonight, and he's a leader, and our guys have a lot of faith in him. Not that they don't in AG. AG's doing a great job. That was, it's hard for a coach because you want all your guys out there and you want to be clicking right away, but I'm looking at it as a blessing for AG's development in having him out there, getting thrown to the wolves and having to handle against a good guard and a good team. And he did some great things. He did some things that he'll learn from because he's a fast learner. And now we got videotape that can really help him. He'll take this and you'll see an improvement. You guys won't see it in our next scrimmage, but then you'll see an improvement in the first game. And in the second game, this kid's going to just get better and better because he's a worker. It means everything to him. So I love the experience he got tonight. He might not have got as many minutes if Dylan was playing, but you can play them both together too. That's the other thing. But they, so it was forced a little bit that way, and his growth, we're going to be really grateful for his growth because of this. So I got to look at it as a bit of a blessing. It's tough for Dylan because he wants to be out there so bad, and he's really close to being out there. If it was a league game, probably could have played tonight, but at this point, you don't. I mean, it's not a league game. It's October. I had to keep that in my mind, and again, that's why you saw the subbing the way we did, and because I had to commit to playing a lot of guys, commit to that, and figuring out and let them figure it out, and they did a great job. The guys that I thought that during that 40-minute game, they did a great job.
I know the minutes don't mean a lot, but there's some notable stuff on who got minutes where. I mean, but Bond getting first half minutes 5. I mean, what did you see from him? And then Ethan not getting in at all until the extra period. Is he just behind Dom, I guess, right now?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's by position too. I mean, you got Drew and Dom and Javen, and you got a lot of veterans in those kind of positions, and that and his he's growing, and but there's a lot that he has to keep growing on. He looks good in flashes, and then but just like any other young guy, and he big guys are different. They sometimes develop slower, so he's come along, and this was good for him to get out there and blow out the carburetor. I thought he looked a little tired, but they're going to learn a lot from the things they got to see though. But it's Bun's bringing some great things, and all our freshmen. Spencer, I was really impressed with Spencer because there's great players all around, and so when you sub in a freshman, you're subbing one of your security blankets out with Javen and Meadow and guys that have been in the program that exactly what you're going to get. So you're subbing in an unknown, which I made myself do, and I probably should have gotten more minutes. But the good thing is he got comfortable, and I thought his minutes in the second half were huge. Like that corner 3, they had, I think, cut it to single digits, and he hit that corner 3 and got it right back to 12. And that's the kind of player he is. He's going to be a really good player. So, part of that is just a coach getting more familiar with guys and more confidence in what they're going to do. But you got to get more data to do that, and that's what we got tonight.
I know you talked a lot about the depth, but it really didn't seem like there was much of a drop-off when you went to the bench.
No. Well, also I kind of had even teams. I sub 5, and I mean, you never
10 guys in though.
I know that it is, and that's really when it was tied when that first unit came out, and then that second unit blew it open, and then the next thing you know, I look up, we're up 18. I think got up to 18. So that we were clicking there. That second unit really, they moved better. They moved better without the ball. The first unit was just a little. It's to be expected. Like I said, it's October 17th. It's the first time under the lights, and there was a little bit of frozen in there with a point guard that hasn't been in a Division I game yet. So all that factored, and, but I was experimenting with a lot of different things that help us, and I got to learn some things, and that'll help me help make them better.
I know you're a big fan of rebounding. How'd you like the effort tonight? 45-30, 15 offensive rebounds turned into 23 second chance points.
I think it was 40-25, right? Is that what I'm saying? Yeah. That can be a strength of us. I saw a lot of things where we could get better. We gave up 7 offensive boards, and we'll keep getting better. That's what this program does. We're always a good rebounding team, and you got, you know, I tell these guys, if you want to play, you got to rebound, and if you don't rebound, I can't play you. That's how we're a good rebounding team. I play guys that'll do it, and so that helps them make each other better with it, because that's the night in, night out stat that we can rely on.
I know that you only have so much to say in this, but after seeing the crowd turn out, the energy in the building, and this matchup, I mean, is this something you'd be interested in renewing for next year?
Well, I really have a lot of respect for their coach, their program. You know, I think we have a great relationship. It seemed like it was a lot of fun for people. You know, there was some neat things, and it had a good vibe of some intensity and some, you know, real life game, you know, action and anxiety and stress, and that's good to create that this time of year. That makes you better, and so the teams that can get in that, you know, that's how you keep growing, and sometimes it's not easy, but that's kind of fun. Anything else?
Thanks, Coach.